Panic spreads through the city as sirens wail. A hostage crisis is unfolding high above the streets, and the police have the building surrounded. The villains are unhinged, using innocent civilians as human shields. Paralyzed and unable to act, the police are desperately waiting for a hero to save the day. Finally, the so-called hero, Jade, makes his entrance. But instead of saving people, he looks bored and arrogantly orders the police to clear out. Before the villains can even blink, Jade flashes forward. But shockingly, he doesn't hesitate even with a gun pressed against a hostage's head. In a flash of blue light, Jade strikes, casually sacrificing the hostage. He then mocks the villains for the death he caused, enraging them into opening fire. Mask off, Jade unleashes his power. He uses the enemies as meat shields, blasting them apart with blue lightning in a brutal display of overwhelming force. As the smoke clears, Jade looks over the carnage. Satisfied that he solved the hostage situation, he fires one last beam to clean up the mess. But he's being watched. High above the chaos, our girl stands on the edge, eyes cold as ice, confirming that this monster is her target. Her mentor confirms the mission one last time, kill Jade, and her training is complete. Instead of arguing, our girl simply tightens her resolve and her broken shoelace is ready to prove herself. Without a second of hesitation, she dives off the skyscraper. Like a red lightning bolt cutting through the night, the hunter descends upon her prey. In this twisted world, the hero's code is a joke. The logic of saving the many has been corrupted into a convenient excuse for the powerful to sacrifice whoever they want. Whether it's an accident or just for sick fun, these monsters face zero consequences. As long as they wear the mask of a hero, they can get away with murder. Meanwhile, Jade rolls up to his club in style, living his best corrupt life. Surrounded by women and luxury, he clearly doesn't feel a shred of guilt for the lives he just took. While the bouncers chat about who cleans up the villains, our girl steps up to the plate. The irony is palpable. The cleaner they were talking about has just arrived at their doorstep. No talking, just violence. She bursts onto the scene with such speed that the guards don't even have time to process the red blur before they're getting absolutely wrecked. If nobody else is willing to do it, then I will. With that declaration, she swings her weapon, smashing through the guards' defense and proving she means business. It's a total massacre. Utilizing her weapon with brutal efficiency, she tears through the guards like paper. With every bone she breaks, she's carving out her new identity. Since no one else will punish these corrupt heroes, Iwa decides to do it herself. The guards at the door didn't even stand a chance against her ruthless assault. Inside the VIP room, completely unaware of the bloodshed outside, Jade is busy enjoying his booze and women, bragging about his glory days while death waits at the door. Jade's party comes to a screeching halt as a body comes flying into the room. The romantic atmosphere is instantly replaced by screams and panic, and Jade is clearly not happy about the interruption. Jade tries to figure out what's going on, only to realize he's already been cut. He stares down the silver-haired intruder, completely underestimating the threat standing before him. Completely enraged by the provocation, Jade unleashes his blue lightning. He vows to tear this intruder into pieces and feed her to the dogs. In a brief flashback, we see the source of Iwa's resolve. She swore to her mentor that she would hunt down every single hero, if that's what it takes to find her sister's killer. Back in reality, fueled by her determination, Iwa dashes forward like a blur. But Jade is a seasoned pro, instantly blocking her lethal strike with his lightning-infused sword. The gap in power becomes immediately obvious. Jade mocks her weapon as a toy before unleashing a counterattack. Despite her agility, Iwa is overwhelmed by his brute force and lightning, taking a heavy hit. Things aren't looking good. Our girl barely hits the rubble before Jade descends with a lightning-charged follow-up, forcing her into a desperate defense. She tries to create a smoke screen with a fire extinguisher, but Jade punches right through the fog, landing a heavy blow that sends her flying. Jade uses his speed to toy with her, flashing behind her back to mock her delusion of victory. He's literally running circles around her. Another heavy hit sends her crumpling to the floor. Jade, high on his own power, rants about how he's crushed every villain who dared to challenge him. The punches rain down relentlessly until Jade, convinced she's finished, pauses to catch his breath before the final execution. But just as he strikes, Jade flinches. Even while battered on the ground, our girl's fingers trace a hidden rune. She wasn't just taking a beating, she was analyzing him. Spitting out blood, she reveals she's figured out his ability. Before Jade can process this, a devastating kick catches him square in the face. That kick didn't just hurt his pride, it left him screaming in agony. In an instant, the arrogant hero is reduced to a terrified mess. The tables have turned. Realizing he's been played this whole time, the so-called hero completely loses it. Instead of running, he screams in rage, preparing for one desperate, final strike. But a sloppy attack like that is nothing to our girl. She doesn't even hesitate, shutting him down instantly with a heavy, humiliating blow. As she slowly advances, our girl makes it clear how disappointed she is. Jade, realizing he's paralyzed on the floor, finally feels the terror of death replacing his arrogance. Panic takes over, and he scrambles to escape, abandoning all dignity. But running is useless. No matter how fast he goes, he can't shake off the inevitable end chasing him down. With a blinding beam of light, the hunt comes to an abrupt end. Our girl watches coldly as he falls, offering nothing but a curse for his next life. Blood splatters across the floor as the once mighty hero becomes just another corpse. Standing amidst the carnage, our girl has officially completed her rite of vengeance. Back at the hideout, her mentor pours a drink, fully aware of the consequences. He warns her that killing Jade is just the start. The heroes coming for her next will be much worse. But our girl isn't fazed in the slightest. With a look of pure determination, she declares that she's ready to take on anyone who dares to stand in her way. The irony is palpable at the crime scene. The investigators don't even mourn the dead hero. They're just gossiping about who's going to replace him, as if he was nothing but a disposable tool. With one final, violent sound echoing in the darkness, it's clear the cycle of bloodshed is far from over. This twisted world isn't going to stop for anyone. Arriving at the scene, this orange-haired maniac starts sniffing the ground like a bloodhound. Realizing his ally is dead, he screams out in a mix of confusion and rage. While he's having a meltdown over the corpse, his associates just stand back and sigh. They are clearly unimpressed by his dramatic display of grief. The maniac, named Chaos, licks the blood from his hand. Through his ability, he instantly sees the last moments of the battle and gets a clear visual of our heroine. A shiver of pure excitement runs down his spine as he processes the vision. He has found his target, and a deadly hunt for our girl is about to begin.